Hello once again, and welcome to my draft mode tutorial. This one's been requested quite a bit, not on my channel, of course, because it's not got any views right now, but in general, someone makes a draft mode tutorial. And it's kind of difficult to do that, because there's a lot of concepts, the draft modes, a lot of cards, so I figured the best way to do it would be just walk you through a typical draft I might do, and try and explain roughly every decision I'm making, particularly in the actual draft itself. So the format for this video is going to be a bit different to the previous ones. It's not working off a script at all. This is completely ad-libbed, so I may make some mistakes along the way, but let's see how it goes. Now, before I go into this, the main concepts you want to be looking out for in a draft mode deck is that you don't always want to just pick the biggest, heaviest minion you possibly can. You want to look for the minions that provide the most amount of value you could get for the cost. So rather than just getting a deck full of 5-mana cards and more, you want to spread it out more evenly with the strongest options you get. For example, definitely take Plasma Marines over a Divine Warrior when you've got 4 or 5 drops or higher already. So we're gonna head into this. First off, the first big option you got to make is choosing a master. King Puff is probably okay. I haven't really played him much in draft mode because in constructed he requires quite a few niche decks to be effective, and his abilities are kind of weird, not very consistent. Rambo requires a very specific type of deck that you're not usually going to get in draft mode. You want a bunch of cheap minions with multiple units. There's not that many of them, and most of them are common, and you don't actually get many common options in draft. It seems to be more evenly spread among the rarities, so Rambo actually isn't very consistent. Which leaves us with Settsu, who, other than reload, her abilities and her basic attack are quite strong, quite consistent, so you generally want to go for the most consistent master on board, so that would be Settsu. On to our first choice, and we've already got a legendary choice. You can expect at least 1 or 2 legendary choices along your draft. Now, probably the best choice here is actually Ghost. Troubadour requires a bit of a specific setup, but it is a Settsu deck. So, for most normal masters, you don't really want to pick Troubadour because you need a lot of backup, strong minions, but obviously Settsu with a first perk lets her jump onto the battlefield should be quite effective backup for it. See, how long is a spell counter card? It's a flying range minion, but its damage is really bad. It loses to Plasma Marines, for instance, so you generally don't want to pick this card in the arena unless you haven't got any good choices. And Ghost is basically good for countering your opponents' really big minions, like Colossus or Red Golem, which are both really strong draft mode cards that'll try and drop down at you. So I'm actually going to go with the Troubadour because this is our first pick, and the first few picks are definitely the most important in draft mode because they're going to define what you want for your deck. You generally don't want to just try and make stuff as you go along. You want to have a kind of general theme going on when you're picking cards. So we're going to go with the big Troubadour, and we're going to hope we can get some cards that can back it up. But if you wanted a more consistent and safe draft, you definitely go with the Ghost there. Fortunately, crossbows aren't quite strong at the time of this video because they're still going through the nerf. Scrap Launcher is a very low value card in the arena. Buildings aren't too much of an issue, and face damage isn't really a big concern, especially not for a 5-mana card like that, which doesn't have a physical board presence like Rambo would. So we're going to go with the Cannon Roll here. It's a strong minion, it's got short range, but that should be offset when it's back up to Troubadour, because everything's going to be targeting out, obviously, because the Troubadour's got the taunt. So we're going to go with Cannon Roller, hope we can get some nice value out of that. Now this is a really hard choice. All 3 of these cards are excellent in Arena. Black Hole would protect our own Troubadour better, because we're able to dodge Beam of Doom, or save our remains from stuff like Fireball. Drone Force 1 is a fantastic card if the opponent doesn't have answers to it. It actually wins games by itself in draft mode. And Red Golem is an excellent comeback tool in draft mode. It's incredibly hard to deal with. This is actually quite a difficult choice. All three of these are excellent choices for this deck. I think ultimately the most consistent option in case this Troubadour pick does not work out would be Drone Force 1, because then we'll have a strong minion that can operate on its own. Black Hole is kind of dependent on you having good minions for it in the first place. And Red Golem, I don't think going Red Golem and Troubadour is a good idea. It seems a bit too melee heavy. And they're both just very slow. Very high health minions, so a laser turret would ruin this deck. So we're going to go with Drone Force 1. Another really strong choice. All three of these minions are very good. I think I'm ultimately going to go with the Plasma Rains because they are extremely good value for the mana, but Spear Thrower is an excellent card, decent melee unit, got the range attack as well. So you can drop in, they'll instantly kill a lot, and they'll act as a bunch of useful melee units. Elite Swarm, it's a good tank for 2 mana, not the best, but it can trade pretty well. So I'm going to go with the Plasma Marines. Now this is actually a harder choice than you might think. The first reaction would be this, and you go with the Priestess. Is Priestess and Troubadour really that big of a combo? Well, we're going to look at the other two options here. Soul Stealer isn't as bad in draft mode as you might think. There are some very good situations for that card where you can get quite a few stacks if your opponent plays something like Scrap Lord or they recklessly play Blood Imps. However, it's really not a consistent card. If you don't get the stacks, it's just terrible. And Blast Master, you need to rely on playing against Ratbo for that card to be effective. So while we are going for the Priestess, this is not generally if you don't already have a big minion like a Troubadour for the Priestess to go with, this is not a good pick, because Priestess on its own is just a terrible card. So you need to, before you pick Priestess, you need to make sure you've got a large minion for her to combo with. That'll be a general sort of theme for these kind of drafts, where only go for the combos if you're absolutely certain you can get them at this point. Now this pick is a bit easier. Healing Fireball is now unnecessary because we have the Priestess for the Troubadour, so we don't have to worry about that. Scrap Lord is okay, it's an average card, it deals with golems pretty well. But Beam of Doom answers a lot of threats decks will come up with that are generally hard to answer. Like the Dragon Pack and the Drone Force 1, so we now have an answer to both of those cards. Beam of Doom is honestly one of the best cards you can hope for in this kind of draft. Now we're going to go with Black Hole here. Red Golem is too expensive now. We have 3 very high mana cost cards, and Red Golem would be simply too greedy. Soul Stealer for the exact same reasons we listed before, and it's also quite expensive. Beam of Doom can protect our own Drone Force 1 or Troubadour from enemy Beam of Dooms. So it's good to pick up the utility from that card. This is actually quite a difficult choice. All 3 of these minions would be solid choices in this deck. Grenadier and the Battle Shiho are very effective at dealing with any large brute threats. I think Grenadier is probably better because it's cheaper. We do need some cheaper cards in this deck because the general average mana cost is quite high right now. So I'm going to go with Grenadier. Palace Craft has its own arguments, but I don't feel it's as strong as the other 2 options, and Grenadier is probably more suited to this deck than the Battle Shiho. But in other situations when we didn't have such a high cost deck already, when we didn't have the Troubadour, the tank for our minions, I would go for the Battle Shiho. Bridge Shrine is usually a very good card in draft mode. I think it's far too greedy for a Settsu aggressive push deck like this is. We're going to want to spend all our mana on backing up this Troubadour rather than wasting it on trying to get more experience for a late game we'll lose. Bounty Sniper is just, it's not that good in draft. It's for the same reason that Bridge Shrine, you want to spend that mana on backing up the Troubadour. So the best choice is going to be Reboomer. Actually pretty effective with a Troubadour because obviously you can't be targeted, they're going to have to waste spells to kill it, so it's a solid pick. And for our last pick we've got a choice between Crossbow Dude, Swarmer Totem and Boomer. As much as I don't want to go with 2 Boomers, I feel just having too many. I suppose it's not the worst, but having minions that explode like that lowers your amount of board presence. But the crossbow dude is just too weak right now, and the Swarmer Totem is too greedy for this deck. So we've actually got a pretty strong deck off this draft. That was rather lucky with the choices. We have some big cost cards to push quite a big push on the board, and we've got the minions to back it up. So let's play a few games, and I'll try and explain in as much detail as possible the processes I go through when making these plays. And we'll see how well we do for the first 2 or 3 games, I think.
This is Minion Masters.
So the first match is going to be a Settsu mirror match. And the good thing about our deck is quite a few of our cards are good enough on their own, so we have to cycle through to get our Troubadour to make this deck really effective. Just going to play the game out like normal for now. Give Settsu support, and there's our Troubadour. Now, all of these, what we're going to do is we're going to play this Drone Force 1 right at the back here when we're at 10 mana, so you minimize the amount of time it'll take for the Troubadour to come out. In most cases you'd be concerned that we've lost both bridges to the enemy and they're holding them for quite a amount of time now, but in this type of deck, experience really is not much of an issue. So he's played a Colossus. That's actually a big issue for us if this push doesn't work. So we're going to have to drop this Troubadour a little bit further ahead. Our Drone Force 1 can pressure this quite easily though. And we can be doing this down now if we need to. However, it seems at first our Troubadour is in trouble, so we need to sort that out. Now this is kind of a big mistake from the Settsu here. It kind of overextended, and I actually misplayed that Beam of Doom. That really should have hit their face, but they weren't able to kill the Drone Force 1 with their jump in, which is a huge commitment of resources. So they now have to waste another 4 mana unit on killing that. I missed the Beam of Doom though, and I missed about 400 damage on the face, which really does make a difference in these types of matchups. We're going to be relying on Drone Force 1 to kill this. No, Setsu's going to return now, so Setsu's going to kill that with the basic attacks. So right now we're actually quite far ahead, with about 2,000 damage on them, which is our win condition for this deck, is just outright killing the opponent. And then Black Coaling is actually really good for us, because now we can just Troubadour. Our Drone Force 1 is completely protected, and Setsu can't attack it. We drop our Priestess to heal it, and then we'll jump in and protect our Troubadour from the Dragon Pack. So that was a really good turnout for us. We're going to drop a Boomer because it trades extremely well with Cannon Roller, although we have Drone Force 1 covering that for us anyways. So I guess Boomer's going to take that bridge for us. Not too much of a big deal, really. At this point, we're just going to hold on to our mana for the Beam of Doom in case anything big comes down. The wall isn't too much of a threat right now. Seems like we're going to take this game quite convincingly then. So you want to be going for the most effective sort of counterplays to what your opponent is doing and capitalizing on their mistakes. And as you can see there, just play cards normally to be able to get that combo and cycle through it. And then it's pretty clear sailing from there. We'll do one more game. See if we can get any other good examples out of it. Hopefully when we're behind. Games from behind are great learning opportunities, I feel, for both myself and anyone I'm teaching this game to. We have another Settsu mirror. This is an excellent opening hand, but now we've got a choice to make. Do we want to put out this Troubadour first, or do we want to wait for the Drone Force 1 to back it up? I'm actually going to wait, and I'm going to put this Boomer down, and as we can see, they've put down their own Drone Force 1. So we now have a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to burn our black hole here, and we're going to have to beam Zoom that down to make way for our own minions. This does delay our combo quite significantly, but in the long run it's going to be worth it because that Drone Force 1 is going to be incredibly frustrating for us to deal with. So now the board's nice and safe for us to play our minions now. We'll take things nice and slow for the first couple of minutes, it's fine. Now he's got the living statue there, we absolutely do not want to play the Troubadour there. He's actually going to beam with Doom. Drone Force 1, so that's kind of a shame, but not much really can be done about that. I feel he's jumped in preemptively before I played any minions for him to try and deal with the impact damage. So now he's gonna lose his Settsu for free. And I'm going to be able to backline it quite effectively. This is a very strong backup for the Troubadour. Now I'm just going to deal with this living statue of these two minions. Don't want to overcommit to killing this. The face damage isn't too much of a concern for us. The Troubadour is going to die, unfortunately. Not much we can do about that, but we are going to deal like 1,000 face damage, which means we're ahead in the game right now. Well, they have got a lot of experience off their bridge shrine. This is definitely a game we're going to have to consider ending as soon as possible. I'm going to play this Boomer down because we need to cycle. It appears he's hesitating to play his Drone Force 1 again. I'm waiting for him to beam of Doom. And we are able to completely save our Drone Force 1 for the Beam of Doom. That is absolutely huge. That is 6 mana and his most expensive removal gone. We're going to Troubadour on our Drone Force 1 to protect it. We take a low damage from this living statue, but that is fine, because we have a Priestess. He's going to Magma Storm, that's an interesting choice. Actually didn't kill the Priestess, that's really fortunate for us. This is a very easy Beam of Doom coming up. Fortunately, he does kill the Troubadour with his perk free.
Oh yeah.
Too slow that time. I should have reacted faster. That is a misplay from my end. Now we're probably going to have to win the game on this push due to his experience advantage. I don't think we'll be able to win if he manages to maintain this. We're going to jump aggressively here. Oh, this is a misplay for sure. He jumped out far too early. We're going to Beam of Doom these to protect our Troubadour a bit. I feel like that's going to be more valuable than the damage it does to the face. I feel we're going to get more value out of this. We're going to instantly play our next Troubadour. We want to keep this pressure up because he's still reeling from the mana cost of playing that Magma Storm. That stun is absolutely huge on the Drone Force 1. And he misses! It targets the Troubadour against the Taunt, so he's not able to stun our Drone Force 1.
We have a winner, ladies
And that's going to secure the game! We were a lot further behind than it may have looked like, but we're able to pull through to a couple of misplays from him and able to capitalize on it with the additional pressure from rolling out that final Troubadour. He wasn't able to keep up with us in the end. So, while this probably wasn't the most beneficial deck to show off the intricacies of draft mode with, hopefully it keeps you with the mindset you need to play the mode, which is you need to focus on the value-based trades and just trying to make sure your opponent doesn't have any opportunity to seal you out. To be able to capitalize on the mistakes of your opponent quite well. So I think that should be about it for this. I think I'll do some more draft mode tutorials actually in the future. We'll try and get as many done as I can, whenever I'm feeling like it. So I've got 5 minutes to sit down and just do out a draft mode tutorial. And because there's quite a lot of varied decks you can end up getting in draft, and I feel just doing one tutorial like this is not really going to cover everything you'll need to know. But hopefully this helps you when it comes to a combo deck building, such as one build around Troubadour. Hopefully that lets you understand how those operate better. Hopefully I'll see you in the next draft mode tutorial, where we'll try and cover some new types of decks for you.